Hey, Mark here. Now listen, I ain't here to smile today. Y'all see that dude over there? Name's Jesus. And guess what? He just got sold out. I mean, all he's been doing is healing broken people, making blind eyes see, and straight up sending demons packing like it's eviction day. Same guy even showed love to people who didn't even love themselves. Yet, one of his own boys flipped on him for some pocket change. How crazy. But hold up. Before you start jumping to conclusions, you gotta know how we even got here. From miracles to madness. From love to backstabbing. From Hosanna to handcuffs. You ready? Good. Let's run it from the top. So, you'd probably think we're gonna start with the coolest dude on Earth's birth, right? Nah, not in Mark's gospel. This dude doesn't waste any time. We don't get all the baby stuff, the star, or the wise men. Nope. We kick things off with a weirdo. Dude, who's out here living in the wild and calling people to change their lives. His name, John the Baptist. Just so you know, this guy is not your average prophet. Dude's living out in the wilderness, wearing camel hair, and eating locusts and honey like it's no big deal. He's out here calling people to get their act together, telling them to repent and get baptized. It's like a spiritual fitness boot camp, no chill. Now, John's out here doing his thing, but little did everyone know, he's about to pass the mic to someone way bigger. Then one day, boom, here comes Jesus. No fanfare, no trumpet blasts, just Jesus walking up like it's another regular day. And John's probably like, wait, what? You want me to baptize you? But Jesus is like, yep, this is how it's gotta go. So John dunks him in the water, and that's when it gets lit. The sky literally opens up, and God's voice drops. This is my son, whom I love. With him I am well pleased. Like mic drop. That's the moment when it all begins. Jesus isn't just stepping into the river. He's stepping into his purpose, and everything's about to change. This isn't just some random baptism, though. This is the start of Jesus' mission. No slow build-up, no holding back. This is where it gets real, and trust me, it's gonna get wild from here. So, after Jesus gets baptized, he heads straight to the wilderness. And when I say wilderness, I'm talking about the real deal. No water, no food, just a whole lot of nothing. It's like being stranded with no Wi-Fi and no phone service for 40 days. Yeah, 40 days. So, while Jesus is out there, Satan shows up like he's ready to start something. Imagine trying to mess with someone at their lowest. No food, no sleep, just pure isolation. And Satan thinks now's the time to slide in. He starts trying to mess with Jesus' head, tempting him with everything, power, fame, and all the things he could have if he just gave in. But here's the thing, Jesus isn't playing. Satan's like, yo, turn these rocks into bread. You're hungry, right? Jesus is like, not today. Satan offers him the world, saying, bow down, and it's all yours. And Jesus is like, nah, I'm good, not even close. Every time Satan tries to pull him in, Jesus shuts it down with pure faith. Like this is the ultimate test of willpower. No distractions, no help, just Jesus standing strong in the face of everything that could break him. This isn't just a battle for survival, it's a battle for who he is, and he's not about to fold. It's like the ultimate boss fight in a video game. Except there's no controller, no pause button, just pure mental strength. 40 days, all alone, and Jesus doesn't budge. No matter how hard Satan tries, he stays firm. This wasn't just about surviving the wilderness. This was Jesus showing us how to hold it down when life tries to break you. Right after Jesus totally shuts down Satan in the wilderness, you'd think he'd be out there posting the win on Instagram or flexing, right? Nah, not Jesus. He had no time for the gram. Instead, he heads straight into the city, and guess what he starts doing? Building his squad. But here's the kicker. Who does he call to be part of his inner circle? Fishermen. Yeah, you heard that right. Not some high-ranking fancy pants people. No celebrities, no influencers. Just regular guys who spend their days fishing. Nobody really cared about them. But Jesus did. He walks up to these dudes, looks them straight in the eye, and says, "Follow me." And let me tell you, this wasn't just some casual invite. This was the kind of deal that had no strings attached and was sweeter than $1 million contract. I mean, you can imagine it. These guys are out there, working hard in the sun, casting nets, and along comes Jesus, offering them something life-changing. No hesitation, no, let me think about it. They just drop everything, like everything, and follow him. No second guessing, no what's in it for me. Just pure trust. This was the start of something big, something real. Jesus wasn't here to build a squad of perfect people or the ones with the most followers. Nah, he was here for the ones who were down to keep it real, for the ones ready to step up and change the game. And that's the vibe Jesus was giving off. He wasn't looking for titles or status. He was looking for hearts that were open, ready for the journey. He didn't care about your resume. He cared about your willingness to follow, to believe, and to give your all. And this crew? They didn't even know what was coming next. But they were about to witness the most legendary, life-altering ride ever. Now, let's do a quick fast check. Baptized? Check. Crew ready? Check. So, what's next, you might ask? Good question, because this is the dramatic, mind-blowing stuff. The coolest dude on earth is about to get his hands dirty. Think of this like a training session for his squad, showing them what real power looks like. Jesus isn't just sitting back and letting his crew take notes. He's out there making miracles happen, hands-on. People are sick, possessed, broken. And Jesus steps in, doing what everyone else thought was impossible. He's healing the sick, casting out demons, and performing miracles that leave people's jaws on the floor. Dude literally walks up to a paralyzed guy and says, "Get up, take your mat, and walk." Just like that, this dude gets up. Like it's nothing, like he's been walking his whole life. And it's not just that, Jesus is calling out demons like they're nothing, telling them to leave and making them run away. He's not just about words, he's about action. And this isn't just to show off. It's to teach his crew how to do the impossible too. Like, hey, you see what I just did? Yeah, you're gonna do that too. Get ready. And while all this is going down, Jesus isn't just flexing miracles for the crowd. He's teaching his crew along the way. He starts telling stories, parables, simple stories that hit deep and leave you thinking for days. Like the story of the Good Samaritan. At first, it sounds like just another nice tale, but Jesus flips it. The enemy, the Samaritan, turns out to be the real hero. He makes everyone rethink what it means to love, to help, to be human. Jesus wasn't just about the flashy moments. He was planting seeds in his crew, showing them how to look past what society tells them and see the bigger picture. These weren't just stories. They were lessons that would change everything. One would think that everyone should be cheering Jesus as a hero, right? I mean, he's out here doing what no one else can, healing the sick, flipping demons, teaching stuff that actually makes sense. But spoiler alert, not everyone's a fan. And I'm not talking about a couple of side-eye glances. Nah, he's got some big haters, and I ain't even kidding. They didn't come smiling. So who are these haters? Basically, they were the religious leaders, the Pharisees, Sadducees, the ones who thought they had all the answers. They were the self-appointed rule keepers, the people who loved to judge everyone else based on what they did or didn't do. These guys are watching Jesus do his thing, and instead of celebrating, they're low-key furious. Why? Because Jesus isn't playing by their rules. He's out here healing on the Sabbath, hanging with people they think are unclean, and even forgiving sins. All the stuff they've spent their whole lives preaching against. They're watching him take center stage, and they're pissed off because he's flipping the script. They think faith is all about rules. Do this, don't do that, follow these rituals, and boom, you're good. But Jesus, he's not about that. He's all about what's in your heart, not the image you can fake. So, the Pharisees step up, ready to confront him. They're like, why are you breaking the rules? You can't do that? And Jesus? He's not backing down. He looks them dead in the eye and says, you guys are so caught up in your rules, but I'm about love. It's not about what you do on the outside. It's about what's inside. It's about loving people, not looking perfect for everyone else. Jesus isn't holding back. He's calling them out, showing them how hollow their rituals are compared to real, raw love. And the Pharisees, they hate it. But Jesus, he's just getting started. He's about to change everything. So here's where it gets crazy. Jesus pulls his crew together and drops this bomb on them. Who do you say I am? It's like the ultimate pop quiz. Everyone's quiet, trying to figure out what to say. And then Peter, the guy who's always first to speak up, steps up and just nails it. He looks at Jesus and says, you're the Messiah, the real deal. Bam, it's out in the open. Peter just called Jesus what no one else had dared to say. He's saying, yo, you're the chosen one, the one we've been waiting for. And Jesus, he's like, yep, you got it. But then Jesus doesn't just drop the mic and walk away. He gets real with them, like, okay, now that you know who I am, here's the deal. I'm not here to take the throne like you think. I'm here to die. Yeah, you heard that right. Jesus is telling his boys that the whole Messiah thing doesn't mean glory and fame. It means suffering, pain, and death. And the disciples, they're not ready for that. They're expecting a king, someone to lead them to victory, not someone who's gonna face the worst kind of death. Peter, he's straight up shocked. He can't even handle it. So Peter pulls Jesus aside, like, nah man, this can't be how it goes down. But Jesus, being Jesus, turns to him and hits him with the truth. Get behind me, Satan. You're not thinking about the things of God, you're thinking about the things of men. It's like Peter just made the ultimate revelation and then got hit with the hardest reality check. Jesus is here to save the world, but it's not going to be pretty. It's not going to be all sunshine and rainbows. It's going to be a brutal road ahead, and not everyone's ready for that truth. But before it really gets messy, Jesus decides to get really close to his crew. Because let's be real, the road ahead isn't going to be pretty. This isn't the regular dinner date you go on with your girl on a Friday night. No, this one's called the Last Supper. This is the moment where everything changes. So, his crew gets everything set up, the meal is prepared, and when it's time, Jesus does something that stuns them all. He gets up, takes off his robe, wraps a towel around his waist, and starts washing his disciples' feet. Now, imagine the scene. Jesus, the guy they all looked up to, the Messiah, is literally kneeling down and washing their dirty feet like a servant. It's an absolute power move, but not the way anyone expected. His disciples are shook. They're like, what? Why is he doing this? Peter's straight up confused, like, nah, you're not washing my feet, Jesus. That's not how this works. But Jesus tells him, if I don't wash you, you don't have a part with me. And Peter, being Peter, just goes all in. Okay, then wash all of me. Jesus is showing them what real leadership looks like. Not about power, but about serving others. It's a lesson they'll never forget. Then, after this whole moment, Jesus sits them down and the mood shifts. He's not just talking about love and service anymore. He gets real with them. He says, one of you is going to betray me. The room goes dead silent. Everyone's looking around, like, who? Who's going to do that? And the tension's thick. Jesus doesn't say it directly, but he's talking about Judas. The dude who's been with them the whole time, the one who should be loyal, is about to betray him. It's like a punch to the gut. Judas is already plotting in the background, and Jesus knows it. This isn't just a goodbye dinner, it's a warning, a preparation for what's coming. And the crazy part? Jesus doesn't freak out. He doesn't call Judas out right there in front of everyone. He lets it unfold, knowing what's ahead. But that betrayal? That's the spark that's going to light the whole fire. Jesus is about to face the hardest road of his life, and his crew, they have no idea how bad it's going to get. Alright, so now we hit the lowest point in this whole story. Jesus is arrested. Yeah, the guy who healed the sick, fed the hungry, and literally changed the world is now being treated like a criminal. He's dragged from trial to trial, beaten, mocked, and humiliated. Picture this. The soldiers slap him, spit on him, and put a crown of thorns on his head, all just to humiliate him more. Then, they make him carry a wooden cross, heavy as hell, through the streets, while people yell and throw things at him. This is no superhero moment, no epic last stand. This is the real deal, raw and brutal. They finally get to the place where he'll be crucified, Golgotha, outside the city. And here's where it gets even worse. They nail him to the cross, his hands and feet driven through with thick spikes. And it's not a quick death. It's slow, painful, excruciating. Every breath he takes is a battle. The crowd is watching, mocking him, thinking it's all over. It looks like the end, right? Like there's no coming back from this. But Jesus, in the midst of the pain, says one thing: it's finished. And those words, they hit deep. When he says it's finished, he's not just saying he's done with the torture. He's carrying the weight of every mistake we've ever made, every bad thing we've done, every lie we've told. He's taking it all on himself, carrying our junk, our sins, all of it to that cross. At that moment, it's not just his pain, it's the world's pain. And in that moment, Jesus isn't just dying for himself. He's dying for every single one of us. This isn't some tragic accident. This is the sacrifice that changes everything. He's giving up his life to break the chains, to pay the price so we don't have to. It's brutal, it's raw, and it's the ultimate act of love. So, 3 days later, everyone thinks it's over. The crowd saw Jesus on that cross, dying a slow, brutal death. They watched him get buried, and the disciples, they're scattered, confused, thinking it's the end. But then, boom, everything flips. Jesus isn't dead. He rises from the grave like some next-level comeback. And trust me, this isn't some sudden miracle type of thing. This changes everything. The guy who was beaten, nailed to a cross, and buried, he's back. Not just as a ghost or a vision, but in the flesh, alive. This is the moment that rewrites history. The resurrection? It's not just a happy ending to the story. It's the ultimate message that death doesn't have the last word anymore. Not for Jesus, not for anyone. He came back, and in doing so, he showed that death has no power over him. No grave can hold him down. This isn't some tragic hero story where the hero dies, and that's the end of it. Nah, Jesus' death was just the setup for the greatest plot twist ever. It's the ultimate comeback story. A moment that proves no matter how dark things get, no matter how low you go, there's always a chance to rise again. Jesus isn't just another guy who died. He's the guy who showed us that even death can't hold you back if you've got the power to rise again. And that moment changes everything. It's not just a win for Jesus, it's a win for all of us. The resurrection is the proof that we're all meant to overcome, no matter the battle, no matter the odds. Death? Nah, it's just a chapter, and the story is far from over. Alright, let's be real. After everything, miracles, betrayals, crosses, and comebacks, Jesus is still out here, calling us. Yeah, you heard me right. This isn't some story locked in the past. Jesus didn't just show up, do his thing, and dip. He's still calling people today. And I'm not talking about some boring, follow the rules thing. Nah, he's asking you to live different, love deeper, and make moves that actually mean something. Like, not just going with the flow of what everyone else is doing, but actually stepping up and changing the game. So what about you? Are you down to follow his lead and shake things up? This isn't about some fairy tale or religious vibe. It's a call to be real, To step into a story that's bigger than yourself? To be part of something legendary? Think about it. If the coolest guy who ever lived came up to you and said, "Yo, follow me, let's change the world," would you say yes or just keep scrolling? Drop your thoughts in the comments. What part of the story hit you the hardest? And if you're vibing with what we're talking about, smash that like button, hit subscribe, and let's keep this conversation going. This isn't the end. This is just the beginning.